One of the fastest growing fields in the forensic world has nothing to do with blood, fibers, or crime scene evidence, but rather words. Dr. Robert Leonard is one of this country's top forensic linguists. In the Brian Hummert murder investigation, Leonard's task analyzed two letters, one sent to the police and the other sent to the media by the purported killer.
In forensic linguistics, we can opine as to whether certain letters were written by the same person or different persons. Secondly, we can give demographic information on the person who wrote one or other of these letters.
Investigators hope Leonard can link the letters, one called the stalker letter, the other the serial killer letter, to the writings of lead suspect Brian Hummert.
The serial killer letter began, "I killed Charlene Hummert, not her husband." This was pretty good evidence that the letter belonged to a class of documents that the FBI calls POMICs, which is post-offense manipulation of investigative communication.
These types of writings are often composed to try and send investigators in the wrong direction. But Leonard saw a pattern.
In the serial killer letter, there was a sentence, "She tried to break it off, so I broke her neck." In the stalker letter, there was a sentence, "I would have liked to have found out. She made sure my fiancé found out."
The type of speech is known as ironic repetition.
The more I searched, the less I found on it as a standard rhetorical device, and I was finally able to come to the opinion that it was rare enough so that it was possible evidence of common authorship of the two.
Something else jumped out at Leonard.
There was something fairly unique about the way Brian Hummert used contractions. It was always, "I am going to the store." "I don't want." Negatives, contracted. Positives, always not contracted. There were only 3 places where I ever found that precise pattern of contractions: the serial killer letter, the stalker letter, and the writings of Brian Hummert, the suspect. I thought to myself, is it actually possible that this suspect is now going to go to jail for the rest of his life because of the way he contracted verbs?
Leonard relates one of the most infamous forensic linguistic cases involving a local dialect. The case was handled by retired professor Roger Shy.
The authorities came to him with a ransom note. It said, "Put $10,000 cash in a diaper bag. Put it in the trash can at the Devil Strip at corner 18th and Carlson." Roger Shy almost instantly was able to say to the investigators, "On your suspect list, do you have a well-educated man from Akron, Ohio?" This is what he based his thoughts on. Think, what is the name that you have for that strip of grass in between the sidewalk and the street? Some call it a median strip, a county strip, or a devil strip. But they only call it a devil strip in Akron, Ohio. This was a very good detail because it was below the level of consciousness. These are common stereotypes. And indeed, the authorities went to the person on their suspect list from Akron, Ohio, who was well-educated, and he confessed. Language can solve crimes. Language can prevent crimes. And investigators should know that letters, notes, emails, blogs, any of these things can be used to help them in their investigations.